I'm Jeff Mack, a commercial real estate broker with Newmark Grubb Knight Frank, and I'm pleased to welcome Fran Griesing. Fran is the founder of a Philadelphia law firm called Griesing Law. Welcome, Fran.
Jeff, thanks for inviting me to speak with you today. Technology in the law has become one of the hottest topics. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. We've actually been interviewed several times lately about cybersecurity and technology in the law. Essentially, because we're lawyers, we have a heightened responsibility to maintain client confidences, and in addition, our firm in particular, because we represent Fortune 500 companies, we have to meet very strict expectations about the kind of technology we use, particularly as it relates to security. And those are very expensive undertakings for any business, and particularly for law firms. As a result, even though we are a boutique firm, our obligations are no less than if we were a mega firm. So we basically need the kinds of security that we would need if we were a very big firm, because we represent the kind of clients that big firms represent. And when you represent Fortune 500 clients, they will give you cybersecurity requirements, and we have to meet them. So technology has become a very significant part of the operating budget for our firm and for law firms generally. And in addition, if we're managing 300 plus clients historically, and many of them have multiple matters, you need fairly sophisticated software to keep track of everything you have to do for everyone, make sure you meet all their deadlines and the like. So technology and the law have become inextricably intertwined. What am I most proud of that I created in my law firm is a question that is a tough one to answer, because on the one hand, I walk down the hall in my office and I see 20 people who have jobs. That's a big deal. I've created jobs for over 20 people. Many of them are women with young children. Virtually everyone who works for me has a family or some kind of family responsibility, financially and otherwise. I also have created opportunities for women to do things they would not be doing in other legal settings yet, meaning I give people responsibility if they're capable of handling it, and I let them run with it. So very junior people are taking on increasingly challenging and interesting projects and doing them phenomenally well. And I'm very proud that I've created that team. But ultimately, the thing I'm most proud of and have always been most proud of is my daughter. And every parent should be, I think. My 26-year-old daughter, Emily, graduated from Barnard over 4 years ago and worked in marketing and advertising, both here and in New York, for some of the best agencies around, and joined us in the spring and is our marketing coordinator. And in addition to working on our side business, and she's really done a phenomenal job at it. And I was already most proud of her of anything I'd done anyway, but having her work with me and collaborate with me as a colleague has been a spectacularly rewarding experience for me, and one I'm really proud of. The market for law students has been really tough over the past several years, although I think it's improving. And we hire some people right out of law school, and we hire a lot of people with experience. And the way in which we go about doing that is so many people approach us that we don't go to agencies or put out ads or do anything like that. Most people who join us through word of mouth or because they've contacted us. And when I'm talking to law students, which I do fairly frequently actually, about what they see for themselves, my number one piece of advice for law students, and this is not advice for women law students, it's advice for all law students, is take charge of your career. And what I mean by that is, historically, when I came out of law school, you went into a law firm and they gave you work to do, and some more senior person mentored you and critiqued your work, gave you guidance, introduced you to people, and led you along kind of like in a school sort of way. I don't think that that's a good thing for young lawyers today. I think because of the economics of practicing law, because law firms are not able to afford to be as paternalistic as they might have been in the past, every person needs to take charge of his or her own career, lawyers for sure, and I think every law student should start thinking about that when they walk in the door of the law school. They shouldn't wait till they're out. They should start thinking about what kind of work they want to do and why they want to do it, and who would be in a position to give them that kind of work, and how they're going to go about earning the trust to get that work. That's what I think is important for law students today. My favorite things to do when I'm not working are pretty varied. I love to exercise, and I like lots of different kinds of exercise. Because I'm indoors so much, ideally I like to be outdoors. So I love to hike. That's the number one for me in all different kinds of places. But I also do a lot of yoga to keep my mind clear. And I actually do a lot of flywheel, which is a indoor stadium cycling class. I do that several times a week to burn off steam and stay in shape. So I like all of those kinds of activities, and I love to cook. So I do a lot of cooking as well.